What up, and welcome to my channel. And today we're gonna be making the New Year meal. Well, the one that I have for New Year, because I always try to have some black eyed peas and some greens. Personally, I love cabbage too, because they said the southern thing is, to do cabbage. I'm in Michigan, okay, so I'm gonna do greens. I love turnip greens, and they both gonna have smoked turkey meat, okay, for the black eyed peas and the greens. Make sure you soak your black eyed peas the day before, okay, soak them and then get the ugly ones out. Now, I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to be putting them in my crock pot, my new crock pot. Now, I overthought this. Okay, I was thinking too big. I got two things. I had too much black eyed peas. And I thought my crock pot was bigger than I thought. But it wasn't. So, I ended up cooking these with the smoke, the meat, the onion, the 2 chicken bouillon cubes. Added some seasoning. But I ended up cooking them on high with some water, of course, because the chicken bouillon cubes, I'm basically making my own chicken broth. Once you add your seasonings, it's basically your own chicken broth. So I cooked it on high in the crock pot for like 3-4 hours. I'm not gonna lie. And you're really supposed to cook it for longer than that, like maybe all day if you're gonna cook it in the crock pot. But I ain't had that type of time. Okay, so I cooked it in the crock pot for like 3 hours. Okay. Because I wanted to, I was going to cook it on the stove too, but I wanted to make sure the greens was done because I ain't had time. I ain't had time. I ain't want to do all that. I did what I could, I can make it where something that usually can take all day, I could turn it into, cut that time in half and it can still taste. Listen, it's going to hit. It's always going to hit, and it was delicious. You saw the picture. I'm sorry. You saw the video in the beginning. That was deliciousness. That was the masterpiece. It just got a little chaotic because my phone died at the end. So I don't got the clips of me really frying the pork chop. Well, I don't even got the clip of me frying the pork chop. But you see how it looked in the beginning? It was fire. Okay? So I just went ahead and put the pot on there. Put the top on there and just let them do its thing. For like 3 or 4 hours. I ain't gonna lie. Just because at this time, I'm gonna be boiling the turkey for these turnip greens. Now, I'm picking my greens. I'm just taking them off the stem. Okay? I'm just doing it the old-fashioned way. You can cut them off if you want to. You can use scissors. I'm hands-on, so I don't care about that. So I just slipped the leaf off the green, swooped it off. I don't care about a little stem toward the bottom, but the big part of the stem, I ain't doing that. So I just kind of, after a while, they weren't swooping off. So I just had to kind of pluck them off myself. But either way, I got off the greens I wanted. Make sure because I'm going to emphasize this because we end up living in a generation of, if you didn't see it, it didn't happen. Make sure you clean your sink beforehand or do the container thing, okay? If you're too, germy, hygienic about the sink, use a container, okay? But this for me. These greens for me. These for me, okay? So make sure you clean your sink, okay? Bleach it. Do all this, do whatever your process is to clean your sink before you put your greens in the sink. Or you don't do that, it don't matter. Listen, I do. So I just went ahead, the smoked turkey. I added a little chicken bouillon cubes in there. Made my own chicken broth with that too, and I let that boil. I added baking soda, salt, and vinegar to the greens soaking. I let them soak for like about 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes or so. I let them soak for a little bit. I tried not to do it to whole. Well, really, they kind of soak for a little while, okay? Because the smoked turkey needed to boil for a minute because I like my smoked turkey to be boiled off the bone, okay? You're going to see when it fall off the bone. You're going to see in a little bit what I'm talking about. So I just went ahead and cut them how I wanted. I let them soak. Just make sure your greens is clean. You're going to have to thoroughly clean them. Even if the bags say they quadruple clean, make sure you clean them again, okay? Whatever your process is, if you want to soak them, you can soak them in the sink. Like I said, you can soak them in the sink or you can do the container thing. Okay? Either way, whatever your process is, do that. Okay? So, that's just what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. That's the process of what I'm doing. The baking soda, the water, the salt, the vinegar. Okay? Clean them. Get them right. Get them tight. Okay? But like I said, too, The black eyed peas, they in the crock pot for now. But once I get done cooking the greens, I'm going to basically I cooked the crock pot. I cooked the black eyed peas for about 2 to 3 hours on the stove. So about 3 hours in the crock pot. And then I changed my mind because I was like, it's taking too long, and I want them I like the taste better when they're on the stove. So I just went ahead and cooked them about 3 hours or so in the crock pot. And then once I got done with the greens, and because the greens, it took about, I'll say 3 to 4 hours after I got the smoked turkey boiled off the bone, because there is no time limit on that. Okay, you just gonna have to check it after about a couple hours, see if it's boiled off the bone. If it ain't, let it just sit in there some more. Okay, it could take anywhere from, I say, 2 hours and up. After 2 hours, check it. If it ain't boiled off, just let it boil some more. And then after about another hour, maybe 45 minutes, an hour, it should be boiled off. Then you can go ahead and add your greens, okay? And then they could boil for about a good 3 hours. Checking them too, because I like mine a dark green. Okay, you see the color it is now? We don't want that. Okay, we want a dark green. Make sure you season it. I have all my seasonings at the bottom, so you know. But this is the moment where you're going to be seasoning. Okay, make sure you don't, if you're heavy-handed, don't go too crazy, because it's very easy to oversalt greens. Okay, so the black eyed peas is going to take a little minute, 3 hours in the crock pot. But if you're cooking it all on the stove, I'll say it's going to take maybe about 4 hours after you boil the turkey. I'll say anywhere between 4 to 6 hours on the stove. And I'll say like 5 hours and up on the crock pot. So 4 hours plus on the stove, 5 hours plus in the crock pot. Maybe. I'll say maybe even 6 plus in the crock pot, for real. 4 hours plus on the stove, especially depending on how much you're making too, depending. But once everything was done, it was done. Okay, I got the pork chops ready. Now, this is the moment where I thought I was going to keep it in the crock pot, but I feel like deep down I knew I was going to end up cooking them on the stove, basically finishing them on the stove, because the crock pot kind of did half the work, because it was hot. It was definitely hot. It was like kind of boiling a little bit, but it wasn't, I needed faster progress. So this is boiled off the bone, that's what I mean. So at this point, I'm just going to add the greens in. And like I said, it's going to be like, at this point, once the turkey boiled off the bone, 2 to 3 hours of cooking this. And that's 2 to 3 hours of checking. Okay? Checking it. Make sure, because everybody got a texture thing and a tenderness thing. You just cook them until, just like cabbage, you just cook them until, and put the top on there. This on like a medium heat. You just cooking them until they are tender to your liking. Make sure you season it. Make sure you texting it. Just make sure the texture is at the consistency of your liking. That's what all this is all about. Because once it ain't that like a lighter green no more, and that's that darker green, they already done. So at this point, it's on you. Okay? Get the taste right, get the texture right. Now I'm using the Jiffy, the honey Jiffy box. I love me some honey Jiffy. Okay? That's going to be the sweet, because it's going to balance very well with the greens and the black eyed peas. It was great. And this is the point where my phone did die. So that's why I'm giving you a lot more information now, because it's going to die and I didn't get a lot of video of that. So I fried the pork chops. Make sure you add the pork chop part. I forgot to add egg on the pork chop when I was seasoning it. So this is what I was doing. I seasoned it with a little bit of orange pepper and some black pepper, right? And then I added some mayo and mustard for crispiness, okay? Because I love the mayo and I love the mustard, but that's usually when I put them in the air fryer. So 3 of them, I end up actually just putting them in the air fryer. And 1 of them, I end up double battering. So basically egg. So after I put the flour on it, like this process right here, 1 of them, because like I said, my phone died. 1 of them, I end up coating with egg. And then putting it back and then coating it again in the flour, basically giving it like a double batter. And I fried it, and that's the one that you see on top in the opening video, that you also gonna see in the end video of the finished plate. You see what I'm saying? So I double battered 1, and I fried that the traditional way, and then I went ahead with the other 3 and I just put them in the air. I did kind of fry them a little bit, but I didn't like how the coating was with just the flour. Because I didn't let them sit as long as I didn't do what I needed to do. I didn't let them sit as long as I needed to. or as long as they needed to. So I actually liked them better. I wanted to see how that was gonna taste anyway. Like it's like my intrusive thoughts end up winning sometimes. But I end up putting them in the air fryer on 400 for like 10 minutes or so. And that's checking them too, because you don't want no pink in the middle, okay? Because these was kind of, pork chops are kind of, there's a thicker meat, so you want to make sure ain't no pink in the middle. So I say 10 to 15 minutes, cook it in the air fryer on 400, and that's checking, okay? Especially if you're cooking it raw, 15, 20 minutes. And this was the finished product, okay? Cook your Jiffy cook everything according to the box, and just listen to what I just said, and you're going to be good. I have ingredients down below, okay? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.